3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Tuttle, and I'm here with Kinte. This is hour 7 of the Indie Radio broadcast, and this hour is going to be dedicated to iClone, which is a real-time 3D application, which, for those who are wondering what real-time is, it's the ability to render quickly, maybe even playback animations in real time, so you can see the animations before you, because if you send your productions out, your final render, you have to go through hours. It requires much more powerful computers. Most real-time engines use gaming engines, and even Blender's actually getting into the real-time animation with a program called Eevee, just recently released. So it's kind of opening up. Even Star Wars, one of the Star Wars films had the robot rendered in Unreal Engine, which was, if you see Rogue One, it was I think the one robot that made a bunch of jokes. So let's, unfortunately I can't really share my screen or anything like that, but if anyone has any questions concerning iClone or such, feel free to answer it. I've been working with iClone since... When did I work with iClone? I'm actually going to find out. It's been a long time. I've been working with iClone since iClone 4. It's close to 8 or 9 years ago to this day. Wow. Time has heard begun. Hello, Curtis. How are you doing today? So, what you do with iClone is that you can actually it's expanded to various programs like 3D Exchange, which you could turn any 3D model you can find on the internet and turn it into an iProp. And there's also something called Character Creator, which you can actually design your own characters here. And I see a couple of developers.
Is that Warlord right here?
Yeah, that's Warlord.
Get out of here. That's a friend of ours, Curtis, right here. This guy right here.
He's very popular with the iClone community. He's a tutor. He does videos. He used to make a film. I'm wondering where Sniper 2 went.
He actually is the guy that taught me how to make websites.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. There's there's a couple great iClone filmmakers. Warlord's one of them. Gabe used to be around. It's actually a lot easier to animate in iClone than Blender. It's more like, how can I describe it? I wish I had iClone pulled up.
I used to have it on my
my
computer. Actually, what I'll do is, let's see if I can.
Now, Curtis, if you use Blender 2.8, there's something with the Eevee rendering engine. iClone has something like that. And even better is that you can actually export the animations out from iClone as an FBX file and put it into Blender. So, I'll be honest with you, one of the major things with iClone that many people point out is its rendering capability, the render engine. So, it's pretty much, that's a great video to start out with. So, this person puts up a cube, but it's mostly people use props, especially default item too. But, you would render, it's more real time, so the animation plays back quickly. Or what this person, that's actually a great an example. They also have default characters. You can build your own characters, import them, and then using, they have their own timeline. In fact, that's actually one of the characters right there. I think his name is like Zane or Billy or whoever. I don't really remember at the top of my head. So you go to animation, and you could actually pull up like FBX. Well, they have their own format called iFormat, You can put them in a certain pose. Right here, so but it would kind of freeze the animation. And then you can render using image sequence, MP4. You can actually build your own props and sets. The outliner, similar to Blender's outliner, is in the scene panel. You can set up your own lighting. Recently, iClone did something very... there are several major changes iClone has made recently. One was the transition curve, and they have their own curve editor, which, though it's a paid plugin, but it's pretty useful. But not only that, they also have the ability to duplicate lights, actually spotlights and such, which is very helpful, especially when you're making dummies.
You know what I've noticed is you're starting to see mainstream stuff use iClone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves' recent film...
Replicas,
that used iClone assets. Well, not iClone assets. It was previously done with iClone. Sorry.
Yeah, I think the first time I seen it, it was either Conan O'Brien or maybe was it Jimmy Kimmel? One of those shows.
I think it is Jimmy Kimmel, because somebody used it for. Somebody actually used the Crazy Talk Animator, which is another Revolution product, but they also used iClone for a certain sketch, which they had a character pretty much green screened. And it was more like a practical joke on her part, if I remember. But some of this, they also had their own. They have their own lip sync tools. So you notice actually, there's a couple of major changes they made to. Because one of the previous critiques about iClone productions is that usually the animation's kind of jerky. It's very difficult to get a very smooth animation.
Yeah, it's way better. I remember we used it. I mean, I used it when iClone 4, and then I started to mess with it with iClone 5, and just looking at it here, it is way more advanced than it was.
Hugely advanced since 4 and 5, and the animations, especially facial animations, has changed dramatically. You can actually make much more realistic, subtle animations with 7 now. You can actually alter the lip sync, so they would actually, they could say things much more realistic. It takes quite a bit. Not only that, but they also integrated faceware, so you can use an iPhone and actually record your facial animations. It'll play back into iClone, which is pretty interesting. Though it is actually, I think it's more PC. I don't know if they have a Mac version on. I don't think they have Mac. It's actually a good question to ask. I want to see if they're actually up right now. They're based in
the characters are way better.
Oh yeah, they are much more improved. It's actually, if you remember Star Maker in the movies game,
yes,
it's very similar to Star Maker, but you have a lot more control in building your characters.
I used to, because I always would say iClone is more of animation versus like something like Movie Storm was more for making films.
Yep.
Are people making movies more so now with iClone than they did before?
I think there are some really, in the last couple of years, there's been a few good filmmakers that come out of the woodwork. Remember, iClone used to be more of tech demo people or people who made dancing videos, but now you're starting to see a lot more. There's a couple I recommend. There's one named Renee Jacob, or directs 1974. Then you have Mark Small Wonder Studios. And then you have like a couple of other people who are trying to branch out. There's somebody who's working on a pilot, or right now, for a sci-fi film. He's trying to get it distributed through Amazon. Another person, he actually has a film, like he just released a hit. It's called The Assassination of Truth. He's working on that. His name's Hassan Rashid.
Is it already out?
Yes, the first episode is out. I believe it's on his own main site, The Assassination of Truth, if you look that up.
Here it is.
Yes.
This is part 2. Let's see if I can get part 1.
I'm actually getting back into the game myself, which I took like a hiatus in my work. I've been working on a film for the past year and a half. Yeah. Let's see here.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, I believe he imported a lot of those characters from Daz or something like that, which is you can actually. That's the beauty thing about iClone is since Character Creator 3 came out, you can actually import Daz if you prefer, or actually import Daz clothing, so it's easier to get cloth. Before, how it used to be with 4 and 5 and 6, previously till 7, that you would have to buy your own cloth, and you would have to go, and you're kind of restricted to one particular avenue. With iClone 7 Character Creator now, you actually have a lot more options in choosing your clothing.
Oh wow, that looks pretty good. And you can put a lot of characters on the screen, it looks like.
Quite a bit. It depends on what system you have. Actually, even better is that they introduced an LOD option right now for Character Creator 3. So I can actually reduce my poly count to like 6,000 or 7,000 polys instead of 50,000 or 60,000, so we can put more characters on the screen.
Mm. Oh wow, that's pretty impressive.
It's gotten a long way since then, and even better, I'm not sure when it's exactly going to be released, but they're introducing an iRay version. And iRay will allow much more realistic animation. Or not much more realistic rendering options. My bad, sorry. And there's a particular user, and his name is James. We're going to be rendering an iRay using Blender cycles for one of our productions.
Oh, that looks really good. Wow, the camera is nice too. Are there upgrades with the camera since?
Actually, not really. No, actually, there isn't. Hasn't been much change with the camera. They usually, if I remember, they tried to. They had a system with the dolly and crane and everything, but I don't know what they've done with it. It's pretty much the same way you expected. I think for his son, he has some training in camera work and everything, so he knows how to frame his shots properly. Yeah, but it's really it's kind of, remember we used to have people who never used close-ups or anything like that in older films. Now you have a lot more people doing it. Like someone like Renee Jacob, he sets a very high standard. So
is Animatechnica still making movies?
No, actually.
Oh, that sucks.
No, he isn't exactly. Let's see. Who would be a good...
Have you seen this one, Plague Angels?
Yes, actually, I have. That's Mark. That's Bezer.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually a pretty good program here, and you use his Character Creator 3, the animations. There's also another major thing. They also overhauled the particle system too, using something called Popcorn, and you can make your own particle effects.
Nice.
And you see here, he actually, I know that one, he used a DAS set. So it's actually kind of interesting material here. It's gotten a lot more, it's actually improved quite a bit. You could tell like he used some particle effects. You know how the fire looks realistic now, or a lot better than it used to?
Right.
That's Popcorn.
Oh, wow.
Fog has gotten a lot better. Rain, snow. It's really gone a long way. But in fact, I might. Here, actually, I could plug in. You know what? I might as well. Let me go see if I can find any work of mine. I'm currently working on a little short right now. I'll show you it.
Okay.
Let me see if I could find it.
All right.
Now I'll plug it in. Let's see, where is it?
How's the community? Has the community gotten any bigger, or is it smaller? Or
The iClone community has kind of stayed the same. There's quite a bit of people. Maybe I haven't really gone into the forums as much as I used to. It's just more of I've been working on my own thing. Let's see. But I've seen a lot more interesting films out of it.
Is John Martin still work with the company?
Still is. I mean, I think his brother was working on the replicas thing too. So I'm just kind of making this. I think I don't think this is the completed short here.
Let me see.
But this is what you can do. I've gone to you know how I am with the wide aspect ratios.
Yes. Oh wow.
And iClone has actually implemented LUTs now, so you can shoot in black and white.
Oh wow, that looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Where'd you get the set from?
A lot of it's from Daz.
Oh wow.
But you can see some of the dust particle effects. Those are from Popcorn.
Nice shot.
Oh, thank you. It's a let's see. That they just released. Somebody actually developed a zombie pact, so you can make. So these are PBR, physically based rendering zombies. In fact, I think the characters too. They just released PBR for everything.
That looks really good. A Jet Strange would like this.
Oh yeah, I think Jet has been still around, actually.
With the ski, not the ski mask, but the.
Oh yeah, that's actually the thing about Jet and I. We're kind of developing this little universe, working on Johnny's universe called T-Max. So I think there's one little thing on that channel which we use popcorn effects.
This right here.
Yep.
Oh nice. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's only about 5 seconds, but it kind of shows you. I don't really have much videos on that channel. I accidentally made one YouTube channel, just throw my videos in privately. But this, what I'm working on a remake of a Western. But what we're doing now is, maybe I can actually show you. Yeah. Let me just see. Yeah, actually, let me show you one little.
Oh, this was private. That's why.
Yep, it's a private thing, and this one is my upcoming Western here. I'll actually show you.
Okay, let's see.
There you are. There you are.
Is it in the chat?
Yep, I actually sent it to your Facebook.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
But you can set your own camera angles. They just, I think they actually retooled they did retool the camera system actually a little bit. Thinking about it, you can import real life cameras like the Area Alexa, and here, let's have a look here. Grass, improved speed tree.
Nice.
I think that's always been there. I don't know. But you can tell that they allow much more realistic textures. The ground thing is actually from Substance. And I believe this saloon set is an actual iClone prop. I don't know who developed it exactly, but...
Nice.
And that's Warlord's character. But... That's funny. Facial animations improved. Because you know how people used to overdo it? It's kind of tough.
Yeah, the voice, the lip sync is way better.
Oh yeah, it's because you have the ability to edit. You could add phonetics to it. It takes quite a bit to get used to it. They also added super sampling rendering too, and I've used this for this render engine. I rendered it in target image sequence, which is pretty high quality stuff. I know a lot of the pros use target. But you notice how a lot of the camera work, it ends. It's a lot more subtle. It's not. It doesn't immediately come to an end.
Yeah,
that's her overhaul of the transition curves. Oh.
Wait, I don't even have the sound on. Is the sound?
Actually, there is sound.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm gonna start back from the top with the sound. I don't know why.
No worries. Oh.
Can you hear it?
Oh yeah, I can hear it. The film's actually being scored right now.
Oh, wow. Did you make the cat sound?
No, I tried recording my cat, but he didn't really like it very much. You could hear him growling. He got pretty mad. Because the system is actually a boom mic, so I had to help pick him up, and he didn't really want that.
Bourbon.
That's a pair of ladies. Think that beats your twos, eh?
If I had to, I wish I could actually do a lot more with iClone.
Don't know her real name, but people call her Phantom.
Wait a minute, that's Phantom? Huh. You know, she don't look that mean.
I wouldn't do it.
Do what? I ain't gonna do nothing.
You know damn well. Leave her be.
Much obliged, ma'am.
That's Warlord.
Son of a bitch. Got a casket to make.
Let's see. Sure. Close up here, close up there. Actually, the easy thing is it's with vocal tracks you can do you can just drag and drop the WAV files into the character, but if you really want to tweak it, there's a tool for lip syncing. It's a lot easier actually than it used to be.
Next time you come and ride into town, how about you try this piece of...
It's all the same with y'all. Talk, bang. Does anybody else want to kill me? I thought so.
This must have been an older one because I remember there's a lot more sound effects.
Okay. Daniel, watch the place until I get back.
John, what are you doing?
I'm making right with this.
Yep, the whole film's been done. It took me about a year and a half to get everything done.
Oh wow!
In fact, if you can look at the lip syncing tool with iClone, see if they've done anything, if there's any videos on that. You guys see anything from Reillusion?
There's one from 3 years ago. Let's see.
That might have been it, actually.
2 years ago.
Oh, the facial animation thing's a good thing.
My name is Solomon Jagwe. I am the creator and director of the Adventures of Lukosa and Lancha. It's an upcoming 3D animated TV series.
Actually, I think I have.
And in this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the results of the exchange, which I then sent to sometimes just doing some tests here and there until I finally came up with something really good. Now, this I have to remind everyone that your character have to be prepared in 3D Exchange. It has to have all the morphs or blend shapes for the animation to be able to be applied into iClone. We make tutorials on how I can show you the process and how I get into iClone and then back to my. So here's my character, custom character inside of 3D Exchange, and as you can tell, all these blend shapes, or if you prefer, morphs, are available and ready for the lip syncing. But this is required for you to be able to take it to iClone to make the most of those new tools that they've added. And Revolution has made a lot of tutorials for you to be able to see how this all is done. So please visit their YouTube channel and check out some of their tutorials. Okay. So now I'm gonna move on to iClone. Here's my custom character that I've imported from 3D Exchange into iClone. And what we're gonna do is now we're gonna go through the process of applying the lip sync and the audio file that I need for the character to be speaking. In this case, this is Nancha's mother, and she's telling her a bedtime story. And one thing that that drew me to iClone initially was seeing some of the new features with the character creator, I guess characters. And this is what I mean. When you select this character, for example, and you go to the animation pad and you create a script, right? And you import the audio file. Okay?
Nancha, my darling, it's bedtime now. But before you go to sleep, I'd like to tell you a story.
So, as you can tell, please ignore the flickering on the screen. It's like a graphics, driver issue. But if we're gonna, let me bring up select the character, and let's bring up the avatar, root node. So we have the access to this Vising track, not Visa, Vising track. Sorry about that. And so, see if I can fit this inside the window, so you can see what the keyframes are. And this default setting, right? When you right-click on the audio file, there is a feature here that is missing when you're working with custom characters. And that's the feature that actually makes it possible to have smoothing and making the characters look like they are speaking more fluently. And what I mean by that is that let me close this particular file and open a new project using a CC character. So those characters can be found in the template section.
Oh, I get it, because it's their own thing, so they got it set up.
And they're going to be under CC.
So when it's somebody else's, then it's got to be...
it has to be specific to CC characters. So
it's pretty much how it's in place, like when it comes to like phone structure.
Character to drive my custom character. So here's Natalie, for example. I'll bring her into the scene, and I'm gonna select her and press J to focus on her face. And when I click on her face and I bring up the create a script command to add the audio file, I'm gonna use the same audio file that I used for Mama Nancha. So you open that.
Nancha, my darling, it's bedtime now.
So by default, you can tell you're still getting the same, kind of results with the custom character as with the CC character. And the reason I say CC is it's an avatar, it's a 00CC character that comes with the iClone 6. And when I select this character and I go to the timeline and I turn on the Natalie, and it's frame the whole project, so it is in the window here. Rewind, and I have to make sure that the Visine track is there.
Yep.
Expand it.
Yeah.
If you press the plus sign.
Oh, sorry. I thought somebody was in the chat.
To zoom in. So, notice this little option right here. It says lip options. Well, that's where the trick is in making, the character sound much better, look much when it comes to the lip syncing. And when you right click on this, you're gonna see it says lip sync options. Okay, so you click on that, and here we're gonna rewind this, and we're gonna turn on smoothing, and we're gonna increase the level. Let me just take it up all the way to 5, and we're also gonna do clip strength, include that as well to like 1.4, and then click apply. Say OK, click OK, and now you have a new track down here with lip sync options, and there's a big difference when it comes to the animation. Let's play back and see.
Nancha, my darling, it's bedtime now. But before you go to sleep,
I see
I'd like to tell you a story.
So my challenge was, how do I get these lip sync options on my custom characters? I'm like, I really like.
I see it now. I'm like, okay, that's a big difference.
It's actually a lot better now. In fact, I'm going to try it now with my own character here. Because pretty much, wow, that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a really good tutorial that this individual gave out. That's pretty much, they didn't have that in 4 or 5 or anything like that. No, and the ability to bring in your own custom characters, it's actually gotten a lot easier now for him. So I'm not sure what version he was using or when that video was made, when he was doing it, but he would actually have a lot easier in that time bringing characters in or making their own cloth or anything like that, or working with morph animations or anything like that. If it's we're applying bone structure, so you can make like dragons and such. It's a lot easier these days. And though, to be honest, I think if you're starting out with iClone compared to 4 or 5 now, it'll be a lot more complicated because there's a lot more options. But there's a ton of tutorials out there. Revolution constantly throws them out for any new features, such as iRay rendering for Character Creator 3. Let's see. Let me see if I have any good characters to show. Let's find out here. I guess I don't have any at the moment. Actually, I might. Here, let me throw this up to you. This is something I just rendered for fun. So, something like this. Or, yeah, I think that would be a good example.
Hold on a second.
But, yeah, something like that. That's an iRay rendering. There you can see the subsurface scattering. Oh, there's me, Roger, and everybody. But that's going to be... I'm not sure when they're going to release that for iClone itself. I'm kind of waiting on it at the moment with them. But let's see. I'm trying to think when's the last time... what major changes were with iClone since 4 or 5.
How much is it going for now these days?
Let's see, how much would iClone be? It's been a while. I always upgrade, so if you use an older version, actually, that's a great question. Let me bring up the software store right now. So to get iClone, and it's $199.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, I don't know. If you want to upgrade it, Let me go see how much the upgrade is. Let me log in.
I wonder if I can upgrade my old version.
You can. Let me see. Oh, jeez. You know how it is. It's way too early for me. It's 119 to upgrade. If you have a previous version or an older version of iClone, it's 119. Certain products you can buy, but even better if you have. I think if there's something called Character Creator 3. Let's see how much that is. Character Creator 3 is 199 too, but if you wish to upgrade, I think it's 149 if I remember. But I'm not the best person to talk to about pricing because I always just upgrade. In fact, I think I got iClone 4 and 5 for free by the company.
Oh, Allie still makes stuff?
Allie still makes stuff.
Wow.
There's a lot of people are still around.
Big Boss, I see.
Big Boss is still around. In fact, there's a bunch of new developers that make games and such that they also make iClone content too. The marketplace itself has changed dramatically. You have a lot more professional developers going in there and making their own iClone content. In fact, actually, even better that with 3D Exchange and such, you can actually have let's see, what's the word? You have a lot more options. So there's a company out there called Modus Digital. They do motion capture. They are legitimate.
Modus?
You can go to mocaponline.com.
Oh, wait, sorry. Say it again?
Mocap Online.
Uh-oh.
They have a sale right now where I think everything's 30 or 50 to 50% off. And they have little starter packs too, so you can get stuff for as low as like $4 to the most expensive stuff is up to $150. And this is actually pretty useful. And they also have an iClone format too. So you go to animation format, they would have something in iClone. So there's rifles, there's conversations, and with that, it's heavily recommended stuff. You can actually use Mixamo content. If you have an Adobe account, you get free access to thousands of animations themselves for free. Let's see. It's actually pretty good stuff.
Oh, wow. Well, they got the rifle animation.
It's a lot better. Really good format. They're great people. They're actually great people to talk to. But, iClone still has professional content and everything. But this site I actually heavily recommend. Yeah, they just released something, a sword pack. One of their workers, or one of the people who they used to do recordings with, he passed away tragically. I won't really go into details how he passed away, but they made a sword pack in his honor. So they also do video games and such. I think their main business is doing motion capture for video games. I think I'm not sure if I can name certain games because I'm not sure if I'll get it right.
Oh, there it is, right here. Here's one.
Yep. They also done professional games, like some major AAA titles.
I wouldn't make a game so bad.
I don't know. I respect a lot of people who do because it takes a lot of patience, apparently.
Yep. I tried messing with Unity. Oh, boy.
I tried Unity for film rendering. And even better, Right now, you can actually export iClone motions out.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, no, it was probably me. It was just me.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, but I was a little away from the microphone, but yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty cool right there.
Yep. Oh yeah. If you have an export license for iClone or anything like that, you can actually export them and put into video games. You can put characters into video games. There's one thing: you just don't sell the characters themselves because that's a huge violation of the terms and services. You don't want to be in trouble.
Yeah, that would be a jerk move.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's just more, you can put it in video games and such, but it's what you expect. Every company's done that. Yeah, let's see. What can we go through? In fact, with Blender TV, you can actually bring characters in, put them in Eevee, or in cycles, or anything like that.
Does Mike DeWine still use Blender?
Oh yeah, Mike uses Blender. It's been a while since I've seen a lot. I think he's more busy in real life, or with not real life. Sorry, with his career and everything.
Yeah.
He's still working on
dreaded
his
real
tank
life.
film. Sorry.
The dreaded real life.
Yeah, it always gets to us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I've been trying to get him to go into iClone because I know he would be an amazing developer. But and because he's rendering a film in cycles right now, and if anyone's doing that, I applaud them because it takes a very long time to do, very long to do, unless you have a rendering engine at home. Like this render farm. But let's see. Well, if anyone has any questions on iClone or anything like that.
Oh, Crazy Talk, that's still going, huh?
Oh yeah, Crazy Talk. They are renaming it to Cartoon Animator. Oh. But yeah, you can. I don't know when they're releasing it, but I haven't dabbled too much in Crazy Talk Animator. Or Cartoon Talk now. I know Jed is looking into it.
Yeah. I tried to mess with it for a little bit, but I didn't have the patience, I guess. It was like South Park.
Pretty much. Same format. You can make really quick videos like this. I'm more of an iClone person myself.
Yeah, this is... You can't do the more human type stuff.
Nah.
Oh,
yeah, I see where this is going.
Hello, Sybil.
Hello, Sybil. Let's see, what else has changed since 4 or 5? I wonder if I still have iClone 4. Let me have a look at it. I'm gonna find out.
Because it doesn't unless you delete it, right? It stays on there even when you update.
Yeah. Oh, I still have 5. I'm gonna have a look at that.
Hey, how you doing, Sybil?
Hello, I'm good. How are y'all?
Pretty good.
I'm pretty good.
Good to hear your voice.
Oh wow, the UI is a lot more different than it used to be. Wow. Even Norton's like, yeah, get out of this. Oh wow.
Well, I just popped in to say hi. I'm in and out.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Let's see. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So
it's a lot different.
So we have about another 5 minutes left. If someone is trying to get into iClone, what do you suggest? Do they should they there's a free version, right?
There is a trial version. I'm not sure exactly what. I think they'll probably just do it in watermarks, to say. Just like any program, they'll give you like 30 days or something just to play around and experiment with. If you're really wondering how to make films with it, there's a ton of tutorials. I'm around on Facebook. In fact, my page is going to be 4413 Media. Mm-hmm. If you have any questions concerning iClone, bother me. Mm-hmm. I usually answer back or try to. Now that I'm a lot more active than I used to be in the last year or so, I can easily answer questions. There's somebody who is interested. He was working with the Half-Life 2 engine. And if he's listening out there, I'm available. Just bother me. There's also others out there who will help. I know Warlord, if you bother him enough, he'll probably answer. Just don't do it in a negative way, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yes, I don't know. Maybe I can experiment. Eventually, see what happens. If you really want, but the beauty thing is, if you really want to make iClone films, or if you want to make low budget production works, and you're afraid to, or you just don't have enough money to assemble a crew, iClone's a pretty good option. I see real-time animation making a huge leap. I think it allows much more people to make low-budget productions. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more options. You can easily build with DAS, or people, or you go to something like Turbo Squid, or a few other sites, and you can actually make pretty good productions. A lot of people are using it for previs. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a really good storyboarding option, something really interesting, I know Hassan Rashid, I mentioned he's done some work with storyboarding for other productions. And he used iClone. Yep, the guy who made the Assassination of Truth.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and it's there's some people. In fact, iClone was used in a music video for a major band.
What band?
Muse.
Oh, okay.
Like people who made Knights of Sidonia and Madness. They made a song, and there's someone who made a music video using iClone. Mm-hmm. And it's actually getting a lot more. I think in the future you're going to see a lot more people working with the program. Even with Eevee now, it gives it gives you a lot more room to improve, to experiment, and you don't really need to limit yourself to one program. Because a lot of people think, you just need to stick to one program. You can actually blend 2 or 3 different programs. You can just, use iClone just as a rendering tool and just import it to something like Unity or Unreal or, Cycles. Maybe if you want to put it into 3ds Max or Maya or Poser or anything like that. It's there's a lot more options than it used to be.
No, that's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, I mean, when I was playing around with it for a while, it was pretty cool, and it seemed like it's only gotten better. So I'm looking forward to some of the things that it's upgraded to, because it was pretty difficult for me, at least, because I was used to doing it a different way. But it seems like it might be a little more user friendly now.
It might be, actually. There's tons of tutorials. There's a lot. There's a user manual I've been kind of looking into. One major thing I just say is that just kind of go around and experiment and make a movie, and just throw in, see how it is, and see what suggestions. I know there used to be an iClone filmmaker that used to be like the Gordon Ramsay. Uh-huh. My work, you used to yell and get pretty much a lot more. He was a lot more blunt. Say he was shitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chitin was the Gordon Ramsay. He always say, "Oh, don't use this, use this, use this, use this," and he was a lot more tougher on my work, especially with iClone. He pretty much gave me like a list in private of what to improve on it. Definitely.
He definitely wasn't shitting around.
No, he wasn't. No. You would work, say, use idle animations of just having them stand still. In fact, you can. That's a huge thing. They also have, I think they have a motion puppet tool, which you can record your own animations, or you can. And there's also much more affordable motion capture options too. Like, well, I wouldn't say if you have like maybe $2,000 or $3,000 laying around or something like that, you can get something called the Rococo, which is a bodysuit you wear, and it actually, when you animate it, it does it in real time.
Well, I don't have $2,000 laying around, so
no. But if you're like a low budget production house or something like that, it would be very useful. I don't know how much Perception Neuron is. I think it's maybe 1,000 or so.
Okay. So how can people see your work? And are you on social media?
Yes, I am. I have a Twitter. Everything is 4413 Media. My Vimeo page. Actually, I'm going to show. Let's see if I just bought a pro account for my Vimeo page.
Oh,
I'll show you. And then, let's see. Here's that. Facebook is 4413. Everything's pretty much. I'm really trying to make everything one easy page to follow. You know, social media, my name will be in certain things so you can find it easier or approach me. There's a couple of great iClone Facebook pages to follow. There's something. Oh, Bezer has something that's more for everybody called the Virtual Cinema Studio or something like that. That's worth following. In fact, you would actually see a lot more. Yeah, the Virtual Cinema Studio. That's Bezer's group.
All right. Well, Ben, thank you so much for sharing this with us, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you got coming out.
Thank you, Kinte. It's good to be back.
All right, man. I love it. And if you next time you have a project or something that you want to promote, let me know, and then, we'll get to promote them.
All right. I might actually have something by the end of the month.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh, yeah. I'm starting to make a comeback, so.
All right. So we are going to close this one out. We're heading on over to the next room, which will be Cinema de Fromage, hour 8. So.
All right.